Welcome back, and we're on our second tutorial, and this will be covering Google Forms. And so what we're going to do is go back to that area that we talked about earlier, which is the dots over here to access our Google Drive. You could have forms in here also, but I'm going to go via Google Drive. Okay, now it looks like I got logged out, so I'm going to log back in real quick. And that'll happen sometimes if you don't use the Google account. They will log you out, so I'm going to log back in. Okay, so now I'm back in. Now I'm in my drive, and what I'm going to do is go over to New, and I'm going to go down to More, and I'm going to go to Forms. Now previously we covered docs, we covered sheets, we covered slides and drawings. So what I'm going to cover today in kind of detail is Forms. And Forms is really nice because what it allows you to do is create tests or surveys. It can be quick assessments, you can collect feedback from parents and things like that via a Google form. Once you've created the form and people have filled it out, it's going to end up giving you the responses in a Google spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the process. So here at the top, you can see that there's some settings you can create. So this requires St. Patrick students and so forth who have a login to log in to view this form. Now, if you want it to be exposed to the entire world and anyone log in and give access, you would check that off. And then down below you see it says also automatically collect respondents from St. Pat. So this can be collecting some information from St. Pat students as they log in. Also, you can have show progress bar. If you have a very long test or form that you've created, you may want to check that so people know how long they have and how far they've gotten through the survey or the test. And then we have only allow one response per person. That would be a login too. And then you can shuffle question order. So you can deal with these settings however you'd like. And then what we're going to do right off the bat here is we're going to name our form. So I'm going to call it Demo. And you're going to have some questions down below. So the very first one here, you'll notice it says question type. I'm going to click this little downward arrow box, and you have some choices. You can type in text. This would be a brief text that you could put in for a question. A paragraph text, that'd be more of an extended response. Multiple choice. We have check boxes. Choose from a list of answers. You have a scale of 1 to 5, a grid that would be like a table, and then you have a date, question, or time. So the first question I'm going to do is text. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this question a question where you have to list your first and last name. So I'm going to say, please provide your first and last name. Now you can also give some help to that if you needed to, if there was a more elaborate question that you wanted to ask, you would add in more instructions down below, and then you'll see the answers right here. And then I'm going to make this a required question. So I'm going to click that so it forces the person who's filling it out to answer it. And then I can also edit it over here. If I didn't like the question, I could click on trash. Now if I only had one thing to ask, I would click done, but I'm going to have more. So down below where it says add item, I'm going to click and I'm going to add another item. So this is going to be now another question. So the question I'm going to ask here is going to be, what Google apps would you like to learn more about? So now I'm going to change this. This is paragraph, and you're going to see that you have a nice long response that can be given. And then I'm going to end right here for the demo, but you could make this as long as you want, and you could add as many questions as you want. Now I'm going to go up here to where it says change theme. And over right, because the way it looks right now is fairly plain, you can add a theme to this. So if you scroll down on the right, you can see there's all kinds of different themes that you can choose from. So I'm just going to choose a theme so you can see what it looks like. And here's the theme, and so here's what it would look like in that theme. And then over here where it says view responses, I'm going to click on view responses. And what you're going to see is the spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet that will end up in Google Drive, and you have a timestamp which gives you the time that it was actually completed. It gives you who completed it, and then the question that was answered, or the series of questions in the form of a spreadsheet. And then you can click on view live form. So now with view live form, this is exactly what it'll look like. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and just fill it out so you can see what happens. So I'm going to type in my name and what Google apps would you like to learn more about? And I'm going to say Google Sites. Now I'm going to go ahead and submit this. So it says it has been submitted. You can submit another one if you want, and we're done. So let's go back up here, and I'm going to go back into my Google Drive. Okay, so now you're going to notice in my Google Drive, see, I have two things here. I have demo, here's my demo form, and I also have demo responses. So I'm going to click on demo responses so you can see what it looks like. So here you see the date that I completed it, my name, and then what I want to learn more about right here. So this is how it's going to work. You're going to see all of the dates, all of the names, and so forth, and all the data collected right here. It's a really nice tool, great way again for a quick assessment, quick surveys, exit tickets. You could flip your class with this, which is something that we can get into also at a later date. So I'm going to close out of that, go back to Drive. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the form that we just set up. So let's go back to the form. Here it is. All right, so what I want to do is I want to embed this form onto my WordPress website, and that's the one that we're using. So I'm going to click Send Form, and then you're going to notice a couple things happen. So we have a link here, and the link we could actually share with people via email if we wanted to, and then they could complete the form. We could also go over here and embed it, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to click Embed. Now it says paste the HTML into your website. So this is a bit of an advanced step I'm showing you, and I'd be happy to help you with this, but I think you can give this a try. If you click in here and it says Control-C, so I'm going to click Control-C. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my school webpage. So in my school webpage right here, you're going to notice that I have a computer document page open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to where I want to put it. So you're going to see right here it says Find My Kindle. This is probably the thing that you need to know that's the most important about this, because I'm going to be embedding my code right below this statement here. So I need to know what that says, and I'm going to show you why. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to go to Tools and Source Code. Now, tools and source code, this is all you're looking at. Oh my gosh, this is a bunch of website stuff. This is the HTML code that makes up your web page. So what I'm going to do is scroll to the bottom, because I know this is near the bottom. I'm going to look for that phrase, and it says it right here, Find My Kindle. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is right at the end of this, all these commands, you don't even need to know them, just click there, and I'm going to right click and paste in that code. Now I'm going to click OK. So now what I'm going to do is scroll down, and you're going to see a Google gadget that appears there. Now you're not going to be able to see your survey yet. What I need to do is update it in WordPress. And then once I'm done updating it, I'm going to preview the changes just so you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to preview the changes. And I'm going to scroll down on my site, and bingo, there it is. There's my survey. So this is something you could give out to parents. You could have students complete, and I'm going to scroll down just so you can see how this works. So if it was a really long one, I would just have a very long scroll bar, and it would allow me to go through and complete the survey and all the questions that are involved in it. So really that's all there is to forms. And so I'm hoping that you can think of applications that you can use forms, and this is something that we can begin to apply in your teaching practice. I'll be happy to generate some ideas for you, and I look forward to working with you and going on to our next tutorial.